Meanwhile, we got our own little Greece right here in Puerto Rico.
That's right.
Puerto Rico's governor comes out and says, hey, we owe $72 billion. We don't have the money to do that. And what's fascinating about this is that, Puerto Rico is a commonwealth. It is not the bankruptcy law of the United States and municipalities, like we saw Detroit go bankrupt. That's not available to them. So there's no way to wipe the slate clean. So what Puerto Rico has to do is literally go to the bondholders and say, hey, you know what? You know that 72B that we owe you? How about you make it 36 and we'll call it a day?
But in Puerto Rico's case, unlike in Greece, U.S. pension funds, U.S. mutual funds are exposed to Puerto Rico, and that affects people's retirement, that affects public education in terms of 529 plans.
So here's what you think about. When you look at Puerto Rico, what is the big, beautiful part of Puerto Rico bonds? They're tax exempt. They're triple tax exempt. You don't pay federal, your state, or your municipal taxes. That's why so many wealthy investors, I really want to draw the line here because this is a wealthy investor kind of vehicle, will put money and lend money to Puerto Rico because the interest is not taxable. That said, you're absolutely right. The mutual fund industry owns about half of all outstanding bonds. Some of the pension funds and hedge funds own it. I don't care about the hedge funds. They take their bets, big deal,
risk,
right?
Yeah.
They're big boys and girls. That said, this is going to be very interesting because bankruptcy is not a viable option. Puerto Rico really has to go head-to-head with the bondholders and negotiate. And you know what? A lot of the big companies like Schwab, like Fidelity, like T. Rowe Price, they have municipal bond funds. They're invested in Puerto Rico paper. Let's see what they're willing to do, because otherwise, the point is they could just say, all right, we're just going to stop paying interest for a while. We'll see how that goes.
It's a really fascinating discussion, and I wonder if people realize what the implications are in the way that you pointed them out.
Yeah, look, do I really think that most Americans who are invested in general investments and who are not in the 35% or higher tax bracket really care about this? Probably not. But what is fascinating is to think that it's the same behavior, guys, okay? I don't want to get all judgy on this because, frankly, in every case, there is an irresponsible lender and an irresponsible borrower. So just like in our housing crisis, not just the big bad banks who lend money irresponsibly, it's the borrowers who borrow irresponsibly. So, too, with municipalities. If you were buying Puerto Rico bonds because you were grabbing that nice, big, fat interest rate, that coupon, there was a reason why you were getting paid so much money, because they're risky. These are junk bonds. They were downgraded to junk a while ago. So you can't feel sorry. I feel sorry for the people of Puerto Rico who are struggling with an unemployment rate that's twice as high as the rest of the United States. The people of Greece who've got a 25% unemployment rate, whose economy has been cut by 1/4 in the last 5 years. The people on the ground are suffering. The governments have been irresponsible.
We're going to have to see where this all goes down, and we're watching that Greece bailout. Jill Schlesinger, thank you so much.
Great to be here.